The battle against Few has finally concluded after months of back and forth between he and the Time Patrollers in Super Dragon Ball Heroes. A new adventure has begun, and this time, the mightiest warriors in the entire multiverse will assemble. Doesn't that sound familiar? In their most previous battle, Goku and Vegeta from two separate timelines were threatened with a new copy universe of their own by Few, as from the shadows, he manipulated the events of entire timelines and toyed with reality itself. With Few gone though, the Time Patrollers and the Z-Fighters experience a moment of peace, but ever so briefly, as a force beyond even Few has manifested in the near future. As we hop into the very first scene of our new adventure, far off in the cosmos of the Supreme Kai of Time's planet, she's seen looking very standoffish in her own house as a young woman stands across from her with a mountain of time scrolls between them. "I can no longer rely on you," the young woman says to the Supreme Kai of Time, "so I'll be taking the time scrolls." Whoever this young woman is, however, the Supreme Kai of Time is willing to put up a fight, as she says that even if it takes every bit of her power, she'll do whatever it takes to stop her. This is when we learn that this young woman is actually a Supreme Kai of Time from previous generations named Eos. As the Supreme Kai of Time steps forward, she's immediately surrounded by a group of hooded individuals coming to the defense of Eos. Before we hop into this very first episode of Super Dragon Ball Heroes Ultra God Mission, guys, please remember that Super Dragon Ball Heroes is a promotional anime for the arcade game, so it is in no way canon to Dragon Ball Super or the main timeline series. If you guys want to check out Ultra God Mission or any of the previous arcs or episodes of Super Dragon Ball Heroes for yourselves, they're usually found all over YouTube, but as always, the video that I personally watch will be down below in the description box. If you guys haven't already, be sure to turn those notifications on to never miss an upload as soon as they go live. And if you haven't already, consider leaving a like on this video as well. It really helps out a ton. Don't forget guys, be sure to follow me on both Twitch and Twitter to stay up with me and all Dragon Ball and anime related content this year. But without further ado, back on Earth, Goku is seen napping against a rock with an empty lunchbox close by, as it seems he's been hard at work all day and is enjoying a nice break now. As he wakes up, Goku complains about having to work and his body just slowly getting weaker in the process instead of training, and then he gets to his feet. This is when, out of nowhere, a small cloaked being appears in front of his face, greeting him by name. What's going on?" Goku says. "Nice to meet you and congratulations," the elf-looking being says to him as he takes a bow. "You've been invited to the Super Space Time Tournament." At the mere mention of a tournament, Goku's jaw drops as he nearly begs to know more. "It's an amazing grand tournament," the little guy explains, "to determine the strongest fighter from every space-time. Don't you want to fight extremely strong guys?" he says, which is usually the magic phrase to get Goku to agree to just about anything. "Of course I do," Goku agrees excitedly. "I want to fight the strongest of the strongest." "That's what I expected," the elf says. "Well then, I'll bring you there. Oh, and," he adds in, "I'll even give you some new clothes." This is when they disappear, only for Goku to reappear in the space-time continuum without his guide, but being put back in his signature gi, and across from him some very familiar faces now. "Oh, hey guys," he says as we see Gohan and Piccolo already there, Piccolo expecting him to show up sooner or later at some point. Vegeta is also here, but Goku's actually a little surprised to see Hit and Jiren here as well. "I'm only here for training," Jiren states, as Hit just maintains an icy glare. "What's up with all these unfriendly faces?" someone from behind Goku says, as he turns around to see Yamcha has been chosen as well. As the friends begin to chit-chat, a light emits from the center of the arena as the same figure who invited Goku takes the stage and welcomes them all to the Super Space Time Tournament. He then presents a box saying that within this lucky box of time, all of them were selected to participate in this royale. The gears and cogs around them all begin to turn as the landscape becomes more of a stadium now, transforming to reveal more warriors. This is when we see the Xeno counterparts of Goku and Vegeta and the other Z-Fighters emerge on another cog. "The 7 of you on each cog will count as one team," the hooded being says, as we see Pan around the arena, Golden Frieza and Cooler, as well as Hearts and Cumber here as well. It seems like whoever's running this tournament has cut no corners in gathering beings from all walks and relations in concerns to the Z Fighters, as even the Ginyu Force has been recruited, along with some of the most dangerous threats the Earth has ever known throughout time. The first round here will be a total of 12 teams and 84 fighters in a survival beyond time space. There are plenty of warriors here from various space times, he goes on. So please, don't hold back and show us your true powers. He tells them that the stage they're heading to now has 3 fairy warriors flying about. You win if you catch them or if you beat all of the members of the other teams. The time limit is 50 tags, or in our terms around 24 minutes, or half the time of the Tournament of Power. For the winning squad, we will prepare an absolutely amazing prize, the elf finishes before formally beginning the tournament, not even taking any questions from the participants. The participants are then all engulfed in a bright light that transports them all to the nearby location, but it seems that they've all been separated from one another. Gohan is the first to come across one of the fairies, as Goku does his best to sense how close the others are, or how close the opponent may be, as he says the others are actually pretty near. All of a sudden, a fist nearly strikes him, but Goku turns around, able to block it just in time. This is when we see none other than Xeno Goku, ironically being Goku's very first opponent in this tournament. "Nice to see you again," Xeno Goku says, as Goku asks, "Hey, aren't you that me from the other dimension? It's been a while since we last got to fight." "I'd like to fight you for real this time," Xeno Goku says, "but maybe now isn't the best time for that. We have business with the host of this tournament, a Supreme Kai of Time named Eos," he tells him. But before he can finish explaining, the 2 Gokus are attacked by a flurry of ki blasts from nearby, cutting their meeting short for the time being. In an icy tundra, Xeno Trunks is approached by Tapion, who asks if he's from another space-time as well. Tapion recalls his own memories of Trunks from his own timeline and reminisces on the day he passed along his sword. But this Trunks seems slightly confused. He commands that Trunks show him his true power, and this is when Trunks shockingly turns into a Super Saiyan God and fires right away with a burning attack at Tapion. At the headquarters of Eos and her gang, she seems to be monitoring the tournament from afar, enjoying the pawns playing their part, battling for reasons unbeknownst to them right now. Every encounter you could possibly think of is happening right now, from Jiren versus Broly to Hirudegarn stomping around all over the place. Janemba is here, Kid Buu. It's just madness. But Eos' plan seems to be progressing perfectly, with each battle raging on longer and longer. This is when something odd happens, however. As Yamcha is attacked by Frieza, we see time scrolls behind Eos beginning to incinerate and disappear into nothingness. This almost looks as if a space-time itself was erased, but would this truly be Eos' goal? The Supreme Kai of Time is still missing, and all of these fighters are battling without a care in the world, but this really only seems to be the beginning of Eos' game, with fighters slowly beginning to drop one by one, with this only being round 1 of the tournament.